Good evening, Fighting Scots. Thank you for joining us again. It's our fourth annual Scots Day of Giving here on April the 16th, 7 o'clock, that we've got a nice group of friendly and familiar faces joining me this evening. But before I get into introducing them, I just want to say thank you again for joining us on this largest day of engagement that we've ever had. What a wonderful way to engage our Monmouth Fighting Scots, our Tartan Nation, in a great thing for the college right now. So again, it's our Scots Day of Giving, fourth annual. If you want to follow up on and see all the updates that we have right now, you can go on our social media, as you're probably there watching this video right now, but also to monmouthcollege.edu/scotsday. There's a lot of updates. You can see more about our progress and our projects there. So we encourage you to do that. Thank you so much to those who've hosted their happy hours and their virtual Zooms and have shared those pictures. We'd love to see those coming in. Keep them coming. There's still time when you put the kids to bed to get together with your Scots family and have a nice event. So we appreciate all that you're doing to connect and engage with each other and engage with Monmouth College. As I said, things have looked a lot different this year, Scots Day included. And one thing that looks different is our campus. It's very empty. Our fields are empty. Trotter Fitness Complex is empty. There's no sports being played, no competition in progress. And I wanted to bring with me today some of our coaches who can speak a little bit more to just what that looks like right now, the experience that they're seeing with their student athletes the same. And these faces you'll probably also recognize as all Monmouth College alumni. So thank you all for joining me, first of all.
Thanks for having me.
Hey.
I want to just go around the screen here and have each of you just give a little introduction and let us know what your class year and what sport you're involved with. So let's start with you, Coach Betourne.
Alan Betourne, class of 2005, played baseball here, and I'm obviously the baseball coach.
Brian Jordan, class of 2009, played men's tennis while I was here, and currently the head men's and women's tennis coach.
I'm John Welty, class of 2012. I ran cross country and track and field here at Monmouth, and I'm the head cross country coach, assistant track and field coach.
Katy Rees, class of 2016. I played soccer here, and I am currently the assistant women's soccer coach.
Great. Thank you again all for joining us. I want to just start off by saying, how are you all adjusting to working remote, to not spending every waking hour in Huff Athletic Center and with your students? How has this adjustment been?
It's really weird. Going in the office pretty much every day trying to get something done, if it's recruiting, if it's practice planning or whatever it is. It's different staying at home, having family around you too, and scheduling things around that. It's different, but enjoying it to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's definitely been different for us. I mean, to really just get the season started on our spring break trip and to, come back and have the world changing so fast that, our season's been canceled now. And, you really feel for the athletes like that. But, especially for tennis, we had a good start to our season. We're really looking forward to the way things were going. So, it's definitely, we know that we're doing the right thing by staying home and using the social distancing measures and not having our seasons. But, it really hurts because there's really no place I'd rather be than on the tennis court practicing and having matches with my guys.
How has it been for you, Coach Welty?
I think it's been a big adjustment. Someone who truly enjoys going into work every day and working with my coworkers along with the kids that I get to coach. It's a big adjustment. So, getting used to not going to practice every day, getting used to not having to meet on the weekends. Big adjustment, but again, as Coach Jordan said, I hope that what we're doing here now is going to bring some good things here in our future soon. So
good. And Coach Rees, what has it been like for you to adapt?
Yeah, it's been the hardest part, I think, is not getting to see all of our players all the time. We feel a little lucky that our season is in the fall, but we really are feeling for all those spring sports that aren't getting to enjoy their season this year. Obviously, we have a short spring season, so we don't get to do that this year. But it's just weird not getting to see our athletes all the time and being around each other all the time.
Yeah. I can certainly attest to that. It's kind of almost eerie as I sit here in the alumni house, and it's been so quiet all day on campus without faculty and staff and students. We really just miss that. We miss all of you being here. We miss all of our students being here, and are just very eager for the day we get to have this campus vibrant and full again. Coach Betourne, I think a lot of us think of baseball when we think of the spring, and we're all missing what's not on TV right now, and the spring kickoff to baseball. How have you and your players kind of been dealing with this? What's it been like for all of you?
Different. It's sad, really. I think that's the best word to describe the whole situation right now. We're around each other all the time, to be working hard for a goal, to get in the conference championship, again, and be successful. It's been very hard to kind of grasp everything what's going on. We got the news from Florida while we're actually playing our last game, and we're getting text messages from other coaches and other, players and stuff, that their seasons were done. And, and we were playing right now, and it was weird. It was a lot of unanswered questions that we had. We get on the bus, we come, we're on our way home. We're trying to figure out what's going on if we have a season. We're trying to figure out where we're going to put these guys at once we get back. And then when we got the news, it was heartbreaking. It really was. We had a good senior group, trying to get back into the tournament and win like they did their sophomore years. And they just got that taken away from them. And that's something you can't prepare yourself for. But I think as time, as we've been home, we've been in contact a lot, play a lot of MLB The Show against each other just to do some sort of baseball thing. And that's been a lot of fun, doing kind of the Zoom. I'm new to the Zoom, so we've been doing a lot of FaceTime and stuff. We've given them the workouts to do as much as they can at home, body weight stuff. But if you can do more, then do more. Go outside. I explain it as the old school thing is, go out until the street lights come on, and go eat dinner and do whatever you can. So playing catch, doing something active, running, not as much as Coach Welty does, but some sort of extent of running, just to stay in shape. So that way, once, we get the green light to do something, if it's the summer or fall, these guys are going to be ready to go.
Gotcha. Well, and as you were just saying, Coach Betourne, there's a way that they can still do some of their workouts, and we'll throw it to you, Coach Welty. Your students probably more than any can really get outside and probably do some of their workouts, I would assume, or maybe, and I know not being able to get into gyms and have access to that kind of equipment right now. What are you doing with them to kind of make certain that they can still work out and get their runs in?
Yeah, our kids have actually been kind of chomping at the bit for something to do. So we're kind of treating this as a long preparation for the cross-country season, because that's what's coming up next and what we can look forward to next. So they're getting out and doing runs still like normal. We're doing a couple of harder workouts about once a week, doing some interval workouts and those sort of things to keep the intensity high. But you kind of mentioned gyms being closed and not having access to different strength training things. We've had to get creative and do some different body weight and kind of explosive type stuff that they would not normally do. So some of it's kind of nice because it's a little bit of a change from what we normally do, Hannah. So that's actually been good for the kids, and they've given me that feedback that they like actually doing something different, especially in this time of what some of them are calling kind of boredom throughout their day. So having something different to look forward to has been good for them.
Yeah, good. Well, as we also just think about the connection piece of this, and that teams, normally are together. Coach Jordan, how are you staying connected with your team, and how can you tell that they're staying connected with one another?
Yeah, we've done some Zoom meetings with them, just, keeping up with our group chats. We've got a group meet for our men's team and for our women's team. Obviously continuing to use social media like the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Snapchats, just letting them know that we're here for them. And and in this situation, I really feel for them, because it's tough in the sense that they made the decision to come to Monmouth, which is a residential college. They didn't want to go to online classes. They didn't want to, be apart from all their friends. And and just, acknowledging that this is not an ideal time, but, I keep telling them the one thing you can do is control what you can control, and, try to make the best out of this situation. And hopefully, everyone takes it seriously. We can get past this and hopefully move forward with sports kind of on a semi-normal basis next year. So, just trying to be there for them and be, somebody they can reach out to if they're having problems in a class, or, just if they're just bored from being at home for so long. Like Alan or Coach Betourne and Coach Welty said, they're able to get out and kind of do their own thing. We found that some of our tennis players are finding that courts have been locked up and that they're not even able to get out onto the tennis courts. So, telling them to go out and kind of go old school and, hit a ball against a wall and find a brick wall that you can play with. But just, trying to keep communication lines open and let them know that we're here for them, I think is the best thing that we can do for them right now.
And that's great advice. And I think we're seeing so many of our faculty, staff, coaches doing that. And I think that also just speaks to the Monmouth experience and that it's continuing, even though we're not all here together.
Yep.
Well, I want to switch it to something maybe a little uplifting and non-COVID related. Coach Rees, you guys had some great success with the women's soccer program this fall. Can you speak a little bit to just that experience and how your team, came together and worked to achieve the level of success you did this year?
Yeah, it was a really exciting season. We broke a lot of records, from the best starting record for the season, most wins in a season, first time ever winning a conference tournament, and going to the NCAA playoffs. So it was just an incredible season from start to finish. Coach Rizzo and I have been building this program for 4 years now, and just to be able to see it finally all come together and to get the success that we've been reaching for. We were hoping to do something similar last season, and things just didn't go our way. So for it to finally happen for us this year, and for it to happen against our rivals Knox at Knox was a big thing for any Scot. So it was just, we still talk about that day all the time, like it was just yesterday. It was one of the most exciting days for us, and for us to just, I remember Coach Rizzo and I, as soon as Kenzie saved that last penalty kick, we hugged each other, and then we both wanted to just run into the dog pile with all the girls, but we knew we had to keep our composure and just sit back and watch them enjoy the success that they all worked so hard for. So we just had so much team camaraderie this year, and we just worked so well together, and it was awesome to see, especially since I've been here for 8 consecutive seasons now, 4 as a player, 4 as a coach, being able to go from just being in the conference tournament 4 times and then finally getting to have a win there was awesome.
And congrats again on that. I mean, it was a wonderful season. It was fun to be there at a lot of those later games and see, like you said, that dog pile happen. It's very exciting. Cold, but exciting.
Yeah. I remember that moment. That was also the same day as the Turkey Bowl, and I was announcing the football game and, kind of following along on my phone as well. Coach Haynes was in the press box with us, and we were watching along with it, and kind of sharing the results as they were happening with a couple of the baseball players who were doing the web stream. And when she finally made that last save, and being able to announce that, one, to let the Monmouth fans know, but you could almost hear a gasp from the Knox sidelines that, oh, we lost in soccer. It was a pretty great feeling. And then to have the girls come basically straight from their game to come watch the Turkey Bowl and them walk in and be recognized, and the football players turned around and gave them a standing ovation, and everybody kind of got up and cheered, was a pretty special moment too.
Again, it's the Monmouth family, just rallying behind each other so much. Of course, I appreciate all of you participating in Scotsday, and everybody who's watching participating right now too in our 4th annual Scotsday of Giving. I want to give a special shout out though to Coach Jordan and just say, he's been working on our Scotsday committee that meets throughout the year and does a lot of work and prep and planning on the back end of all of this. What would you say, Coach Jordan, that just is what drives you, I guess, to serve back your alma mater in this way and participate and especially on the committee in Scotsday?
Yeah, Monmouth has become a part of who I am. Coach Rees was talking about, she's been involved for 8 years now. I kind of in my mind was chuckling to myself and, kind of remembering like 8 years ago seems like nothing to me. I still remember my first campus visit on Valentine's Day of 2003 when I was in high school, and since the time that I stepped foot on this campus, it's felt like home to me. So to be able to have a place like that that's really had such a big impact on my life and been able to give back so much to me, not only the things that I've been able to do, but the things that I've been able to give back. I just think it's important to continue to engage in any way that I can. And, sometimes I get busy and, maybe spread myself too thin, but, it's something that I definitely love to do. And I think that, Monmouth is a special place where the more that you give, the more that it gives back to you. And I believe that. And I think that, being able to, help plan this year's Scots Day and really be excited for all the things that we were doing. And then, obviously to have this pandemic happen and see the way that we've kind of rallied the troops and switched to more of an engagement driven, and really been able to rally the troops on, sharing your experience as a Monmouth and remembering those good times, has been something, that's I think really special to me. And, hopefully that we don't forget those times that we had and that our students can still have those times.
Well said. You said a thing there, the more you give back to Monmouth, the more they gives back to you. And I think a lot of us, felt that. I think you're absolutely right. And I appreciate, again, all that you've been doing with the committee and to kind of give back to help a day like today come together. Again, this has been an exciting day that we have engaged our full alumni base, our students, our faculty, our staff, our friends of the college, parents even, in such what I've been calling our largest alumni and friends event ever. It's a virtual, but I know it's the biggest reach we've ever had really today, especially coming together like this. We do have additional updates on our platform, monmouthcollege.edu/scotsday. And you can track more there. There is a post out there and a project for our Fighting Scots Society. And for those that follow, that is the Athletic Booster Program. And every year they select a project to enhance our facilities, our programs. And right now we do still have the opportunity, if you want to make a gift, to support. You can do that. You can certainly direct it to support our coaches and our scholar athletes. So I encourage you to go out there, consider. There's a little video about the project and more that you can see. So check that out when you have time. I want to wrap up with a couple more questions here, though. Coach Welty, I know it might be really early to say, but have you or the coaches' staff had any guesses at what this might mean for the fall season, if anything at all, this kind of situation we find ourselves in now?
No, we haven't. We haven't had much conversation. I think we're all kind of in a waiting game right now, trying to hear what's going to happen. I think a lot of even high school sports are kind of hopeful that kind of end of April, maybe even start of May, things kind of get back to normal so they have a shortened season. Whether that happens or not, we're not sure. But I actually talked to our team last night about, what they're most looking forward to when things get back to quote unquote normal. And kind of the consensus was cross-country season and being back at Monmouth in August. So they're looking forward to that, and we're hopefully looking forward to that as well. So we hope that things are going to be business as usual come August.
Well, and you actually said something. I'll have a little follow-up question here for you. When you mentioned, the high school sports are feeling some differences the same, are you feeling that this has been pretty impactful on recruitment, or are you still able to connect? And if anyone wants to chime in on that, with students out there, to try to still talk about the Monmouth experience that they might be able to come have this fall in that process.
Yeah, I think it's definitely changed recruiting a little bit, being able to contact kids throughout the day because they're obviously not at school and we can contact them and, we're not at work and doing practices in the middle of the day and those sort of things. So it changes how we recruit. Another thing that I know it's been given us kind of that common ground to always connect with somebody about, because we're all in the same situation, kind of waiting to hear how things are going to play out. So just kind of being able to talk to everybody about that, because everyone's going through it maybe a little bit differently, but we're all dealing with it. So it's a good common ground to talk about. And So I'd say it's made recruiting different. We'll see what impact it has. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely affected being able to get out and see kids, in person, see them live, see them play, see them compete. That's, one of the things that I look forward to, with the exception of, practicing and competing with our athletes. I think one of the best parts of the job is being able to get out and recruit and watch those people and start to build those relationships in person. And so that's different. But it's something that's different for everyone, and we just have to adjust to it.
I think it's allowing us to get better too, to find different ways to communicate with the recruits. Relationships are big when you recruit, but now we all have something in common. How are you dealing with this? How is this affecting you and your season? What are you doing? And that's been, kind of, good icebreaker, I guess, if you're getting some 2021s and stuff. It's allowing at least me to organize and plan a little bit ahead with the junior class right now, and just shoring up some seniors. And but it's you feel for those athletes too, because they're going through the same thing that our kids are going through. And what are they doing? Are they working? Or are they practicing? What are they able to do? And on the baseball side, I hope they get to do some sort of summer season, and that's what I know they've been discussing lately.
Mm-hmm.
What's been hard for us is one thing we love to show off to our recruits is our incredible field, and we can't get the girls out there on there to see the grass. And I mean, pictures can only do so much justice for it, but also I think that students at Monmouth in general, not even just athletes, have been super engaged on social media, whether it's the Monmouth bingo that we've had on Instagram or things like that. And I think you can really just tell that the students love the school, and I think it really shows it off to prospective students as well too. So that's been something positive that's come out of this.
Mm-hmm. Well, keeping in line with something positive, I'll come back to you, Coach Rees and Coach Betourne. What in this process would you say has been surprising or been motivating as you kind of continue this new normal?
I get to hang out with my 3-year-old a little bit more, so she's keeping me on my toes. I've learned how to color a little bit better too, so that's been good on my part. But she's very active. We've been able to get outside. She's kicking the soccer ball. She loves to run. I mean, all these coaches, Coach Jordan, and bought her a tennis racket for her birthday, so she's got plenty of things to do. I'm just learning newer sports for me, so trying to get that bat in her hand a little bit more, but not unfortunately, but she likes the soccer ball a lot better, so we've been doing a lot of that in the backyard right now.
Good.
Yeah, I've gotten to spend time with my family as well too. I'm actually quarantining or social distancing at my mom's house in the suburbs of Chicago, so I get to be with my 5-year-old nephew too. He's joined us in our yoga classes and our kickboxing classes, so that's been fun to see. But I think something good, too, is we get to do the things that we always say we don't have time to do. So we're planning ahead and just communicating more with our girls one-on-one, whether it's checking in on them to see if they're okay or how they're handling all of this, or personalized workouts, things like that. And we're also partnering with another women's soccer team at a different college, too. So that's been something that we don't usually have time to coordinate. So the girls are getting to talk to other players and see it from a different perspective. They're in a completely different conference. They play different teams, and they're actually doing the same workouts. Both teams are too. So that's something that we wouldn't have had time to coordinate between their spring season and ours, and just the different aspects. So getting to do the things that we always want to do and don't have time to do has been nice.
Great. Well, thank you all so much again for joining us this evening. It's great to hear what all you are doing, but also we appreciate the outreach you're doing to our students to continue to recruit for Monmouth College as well. And we are so looking forward to being by your fields, courts, wherever, to rally around the teams when they come back together and when we get back to competition. And thank you to everybody who's watching for joining in our 4th annual Scots Day of Giving. Again, April 16th, 2020 looks a little different this year, but we have still maintained a full 18 hours and 53 minutes to honor our heritage and traditions. And we hope that you're joining in all of that, sharing your favorite Monmouth memories, sharing your favorite Monmouth photos, calling out your favorite Scots, and trying to engage, whether it's in social media, via email, on phone, FaceTime, setting up your own calls and events. We want to see pictures of that, though. Share them back with us just the same. We really want to see how you all are doing. So we appreciate you joining us. If you want to continue to follow throughout the rest of the day, we're going till 11:53 p.m. tonight Central Time. You can still go to monmouthcollege.edu/scotsday and check out our progress. And if you feel so inclined, we are still accepting gifts of support. There's still a lot you can do to help your Monmouth family, and we appreciate all of those who have done so already today. But we appreciate all of you. Thank you to our coaches. And with that, we will come back to our next live in just a little bit. Have a good night.
Cool, Scots.
Right.
Bye.
Okay.